Hey everybody, it's a Telsonator doing another video on my Boss RC2 loop station. I had a request to go right back to the beginning and just show us how to use this pedal right from square one. So that's what I'll do. Connections, I recommend getting the power adapter. I'm not using it today because I'm too far from the wall and my amp's already plugged into the one outlet I have free. But I would recommend using that. Your auxiliary in is for an iPod or an MP3 player. If you're going to plug something into here, you need to make sure your input is empty. You can't have anything plugged into that port. It doesn't matter whether it's your guitar is plugged into the other end, it has to not be plugged into the pedal. Okay, to get started, all you do is plug in the output to your amp, and that gets your light on. That's how you know you're ready. Plug your instrument into the input here. And if you're using the external foot switch, you can plug it in that stop tempo place there. So I'm just going to zoom us in so we can see some of these dials. I know the light isn't the greatest here, but hopefully this will work all right. Okay, so we've got our knobs over here on our left. We've got our guide level and our phrase level. So our guide is our drum machine level, and the phrase is just the phrase, how it's playing back, how loud the playback is going to be. If you don't want to use your drums, you need to turn the guide level to 0. That's the only way to do it. There's no button. Your phrase select is pretty straightforward. You can have up to 11 phrases saved on here. If you're on an empty one, this light will be off. If you're on one that's being used, the light will be on. Over here we've got our guide button, and it's also our select and enter button. So anytime we're performing an action like write or delete or something like that, we're going to use that button to do that. So if you just tap this button, you'll start to get the default guide. Get my amp on here. And so we got our guide level. We can choose how that is. It's pretty good drum sounds, but they still have that digital sound to them. You know, it's not going to replace a regular drummer. So then I can just use this button to tap the tempo. Switch the phrase there. If you switch the phrase, you're going to kind of make whatever you were just doing obsolete. That was an accident, but that's what I was going to show you next. Okay, next we've got different variations for our guide. So with our mode knob here, we can switch it from 4/4 to 3/4 on that little time signature knob. We just hit the button. So I'm going to go back to 4/4 here. Next we can change the guide. We can actually change which drum beat we've got. Just by pressing this button again, we can cycle through the various ones. If you tap your pedal, you go backward through them. So again, I'm just going to go back to the basic one. Now, down here, we've got our other functions for this knob. We're not going to use these too often. This is the one-shot playback. I've got another video on this, and the narrator will put a little bubble up there for you to try it with. Then we've got our delete and our write, which I'll get to right at the end. So now we know how to work our guide. If we want to use that and we want to loop, we can just press our button to initiate it right off the bat. So next we've got our 3 modes. We've got auto, our record and playback, and our tempo tap. I didn't really find any names in the manual for these, so that's what I'm calling them. Auto, when you hit the pedal, it's on standby, and as soon as you play into it, it will start recording. With our record and playback mode here, as soon as you tap this pedal, it's going to start recording, so you need to be simultaneously playing and stomping the pedal at the same time. Over here is another one for our guide. If you don't want to be bending down and touching this to try and get that tempo up, you can just move it to this mode and tap it for the drum beat. When you're ready with it, just hold the pedal down. Boom. Now that means that tempo is saved on there. Now when you tap it, you'll get 1 full bar, 4 beats to start recording. So it's on standby, 3, 4, and it starts recording for you right now. And just like with all of them, just hit the pedal twice and you'll turn it off. Now what I do to erase anything that I didn't want to do, I just change the phrase to another one and then back to that empty one, and it's going to erase everything on there. So, auto mode is the one I use. I basically never use the other ones, but I'll show you how to use each of them. If you're hearing any music or stomping or screaming, that's my neighbors having one of their weekly fights. Okay, so hopefully my acoustic isn't going to make a lot of noise here. So I've got it on auto mode. We're going to start with a guide, just to make it nice and simple there. So I've got an auto mode, my guide's going, it's at the tempo I want it. Just tap the pedal, it's on standby now. As soon as I start playing, it'll start recording. Now you need to try and make your timing as good as possible, because everything works with fours. It's always going to work in fours. It has a quantizer, but if you do it really badly, it's not going to be able to recognize it and make it down to just 4 beats for you. So now I'm not pressing anything, I can just start playing over top of this. So that's a nice simple way to do it. If I want to record something over top of it, just tap the pedal again. Again to stop. I'm just going to add that little section in there. So I can do that as much as I want, and I can still play over it. You can add as many of those loops as you want. Just hit it again if you want to get rid of that. So that's just a simple way of doing one. If you don't like the drums on there, or if you wanted to make sure it's in time, but you don't want to have the drums on there, do it with the drums, then turn the drums down to 0. You can even add your own percussion with your guitar. So I'm just going to start it up here again, I get some percussive stuff going. This is what a lot of people do, this is how they play live. This is all just me with one guitar. So that's nice and simple. Now again, the easiest way to erase the phrase is just to change it and go back. Okay, now I'll just show you that auto mode really quick. This one isn't the best for me because you really have to have perfect timing to start playing and tapping at the same time. Want to see if you're in time or not, try playing without the guide, then turning the guide up. It just happens to sync up perfectly if you're in time. And again, hit it twice if you want to get rid of it. Another way to get rid of it if it's already playing, just hit the pedal and hold it down. That light will go orange, and then this one will flash, and it's gone. Now, yeah, I'll show you another one with the tempo tap here. So, you know what, let's change drum beats. So now we're on this one, so I'll just start tapping my tempo. Hold it down. It's saved. It'll give me a full bar of 4 beats before it'll start recording. Sure, well, you can hear that. So, it's just that simple. You can have as many loops on there as you want. It doesn't make a difference at all. So, lastly, I'll show you the final modes there. So, if we go all the way down to right here, we can just tap our select button. It starts flashing red, tap it again. And we have savage when this thing starts to flash. Once it's done, boom, you're saved. So now I can change phrases. So I'm back on 1, I'll go to 2, and there that one is again. Then we can also change the mode and how we would loop over it as well. If I want to get rid of it, just bring it down to delete. We hit it once, it goes orange. Hit it again, she's gone. So that's the basics of how to use this loop pedal. You can't go backwards in phrases when you're using that external foot switch. There's no way to go backwards or to make them automatically move like that. You've got to do a lot of this manually. But the upper models, like the RC20 and the 50 and I can't remember how high they go. They've all got those features that you're looking for if you're looking for more. But this is a great little compact pedal for when you're playing. It's a great teaching guide. If you got any questions, just email me.